Good morning. Welcome to Tuesdays with the Pilgrim as we continue our journey, Chapter 30, Part 1. Weddings before leaving Gaius's house. Now about this time Matthew and Mercy were married, and Gaius gave his daughter Phoebe to James to be his wife. After the wedding they all stayed for about 2 more weeks at Gaius's house, spending their remaining time there as pilgrims do. When they were ready to leave, Gaius made a feast for them, and they ate and drank in joyous celebration. Now the time had come for them to leave, so Greatheart prepared to pay the bill for their stay. But Gaius told him that at his house it was not customary for pilgrims to pay for their stay. He took pilgrims in, but looked for his pay from the Good Samaritan who had made this promise to him. "Look after him," he said, "and I will return. I will reimburse you for any extra expense you may have." With that, Greatheart replied, "Dear friend, you are faithful in what you are doing for the brothers, even though they are strangers to you. They have told the church about your love. You will do well to send them on their way in a manner worthy of God." Then Gaius said goodbye to all of them, including his daughter and feeble mind, to whom he gave something to drink as he went on his way. Chapter 30, Part 2. Feeble Mind's Reluctance to Go with Them. As they were going out the door, however, Feeble Mind acted as if he wanted to linger. When Greatheart noticed this, he said, "Come along with us, Feeble Mind. I will conduct you on the way, and you will do as well as the rest of us. I want a suitable companion. You are all strong and vigorous, but I, as you can see, am weak. I choose therefore to come later instead, lest, because of my many illnesses, I would be a burden both to myself and to you. I am, as I said, a man of frail body and mind, and I often stumble and grow weak trying to cope with things that others are able to bear. I don't enjoy laughing and lightheartedness. I don't like bright, festive clothing, and dislike unprofitable conversations. No, I have such a tender conscience that the things that others have the freedom to enjoy cause me to stumble. I don't yet know all of the truth, and am a very ignorant Christian man. Sometimes, if I hear someone rejoice in the Lord, it disturbs me because I am not able to do it too. I am as a weak man among the strong, or as a sick man among the healthy, or as a lamp that is despised. He that is ready to slip with his feet is as a lamp despised in the thought of him that is at ease, so I don't know what to do." "But brother," said Greatheart, "I have been commissioned to comfort the faint-hearted and uphold the weak. You must go along with us. We will wait for you and give you our help. We will deny ourselves some things, both in opinion and in action, for your sake. We won't enter into doubtful disputes or controversies in front of you. We will be made all things to you, rather than have you be left behind." Chapter 30, Part 3. Mr. Ready to Halt arrives just in time. Now all this time they had been standing at Gaius's door. Suddenly, while they were in deep discussion, a man named Ready to Halt came by, with his crutches in his hand. He also was going on a pilgrimage. When Feeble Mind saw him, he said to him, "Man, how did you get here? I was just complaining that I had no suitable companion, but you are just the one I would like. Welcome, welcome, Mr. Ready to Halt. I hope you and I may be of some help to one another." "I would be very happy to have your company," he said. "And since we have been so blessed to meet each other rather than part company, I will lend you one of my crutches." "No," said Feeble Mind, "although I am thankful for your generosity, I don't intend to be lame before I am lame. However, I think, if the occasion should arise, it would be useful in helping me to fend off a dog." "Well," replied Ready to Halt, "if either I or my crutches can do you any good, we are both at your command." So they all set forth. Greatheart and Mr. Honest went first, followed by Christiana and her sons with their spouses, then Feeble Mind and Ready to Halt with his crutches. Chapter 30, Part 4. Recalling Christian and Faithful's Encounters. "Please, sir," said Mr. Honest to Greatheart, "now that we are on the road once again, tell us some helpful things about some of those who have gone on pilgrimage before us." "Certainly," replied Greatheart. "I suppose that you have heard how Christian of old met with Apollyon in the Valley of Humiliation, and also about his difficult time in getting through the Valley of the Shadow of Death. I think probably you have also heard about how Faithful was so hard pressed by Madam Wanton, Adam the First, Discontent, and Shame, four of the most deceitful villains anyone could meet with on the road." "Yes," answered Mr. Honest, "I have heard all about this, but Faithful was assaulted most recently by Shame, who never grew weary of his wicked aggression." "Yes, for the Pilgrim spoke the truth when he said that Shame, of all men, had the wrong name." "But tell me, sir, where did Christian and Faithful meet Talkative?" asked Mr. Honest. "He was also a notable character." "He was a confident fool, yet so many follow his same ways," replied Greatheart. "He certainly desired to deceive Faithful," said Mr. Honest. "Yes, and he certainly would have, but Christian showed him how to find out his true colors. So they went on until they came to a place where Evangelist had met with Christian and Faithful, and Greatheart said, 'Here is where Christian and Faithful met with Evangelist, who prophesied to them concerning all they would encounter at Vanity Fair.'" "Is that right?" said Mr. Honest. "I'll bet that was a hard pill for them to swallow." "Yes, it was," replied Greatheart, "but along with this he also gave them encouragement. They were a couple of lion-hearted men. They had set their faces like flints. Don't you remember how undaunted they were when they stood before the judge?" "Faithful suffered nobly," answered Mr. Honest. "So he did, and noble things have come from it, for Hopeful and some others, as the story goes, were converted through his death." "Well," said Mr. Honest, "please go on, as you are knowledgeable about many things." "Of all those whom Christian met after passing through Vanity Fair, one called By-ends was by far the most troublesome." "By-ends? What was he?" "A very sly fellow, a downright hypocrite," replied Mr. Greatheart. "He was one who wanted to be religious in whichever way the world turned. Yet he was so cunning that he would certainly never give anything up or suffer for it. He conformed his religion to every fresh wind, and his wife was as good at it as he was. He kept changing from one opinion to another, and all the while he kept defending himself in doing so. I have heard, however, that he came to an ill end with his buy-in, and not once have I ever heard that any of his children are esteemed by those who truly fear God." And that's the end of chapter 30, so we'll stop there for this week. Next week we'll start with chapter 31, part 1, of Mnaeson's house in the town of Vanity. Until then, take care, stay safe, and God bless.